Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a scene for the living world of darkness, changeling the dreaming venue. This scene takes place at the auditorium at NYU, roughly 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 9th of December. It has Summer giving her her standing off in the wings of the back part of the auditorium, waiting anxiously for her name to be called so she may deliver her thesis. And her name gets called.
Summer freaks out, but like quietly. She just kind of clenches her fists. She's got
Roll me
one
that
of.
willpower.
Oh, okay, sure. And how much willpower do I have? Okay.
You have that many.
I'm gonna spend willpower as well, if that's okay.
You should announce it before the roll. So you are freaked out. You are nervous. You are not.
Oh, I didn't see the roll when I said it. Sorry.
You are freaked out. You are nervous. Your stomach's in knots, and you are super
Yep.
angry.
Things suck.
Things are.
She squeezes one of her roommate's hands because she's also giving a presentation. She squeezes her hand and is gonna go up.
Your roommate will go with you up to kind of the side of the stage, and they will usher you forward to the stage, and it is the standard performance stage, and in there is a podium, a small desk for a laptop connected, a small desk with a laptop connected to a projector, and you step out onto the stage, and your heart races, your stomach kind of like turns and burbles,
Mm-hmm.
and you see kind of in the fourth row Professor Capel sitting at a sitting with a small desk in front of him, and to his left and right are Professor Smith and Professor Weston, the other members of your field and teachers you've had before, and they all look at you with kind of stern, cold eyes. You may begin when ready.
Right, Summer also has a trifold because she's just that kind of person. So if there's like a table to set that up, she'll set that up. It's essentially got very few words. It's just got a bunch of visuals about the actual experiment itself. Also, I'm assuming Astrio's in the audience, just off to the side, just kind of smiling.
Sure.
Right. So Summer's going to walk up, and she's got a little. Of course, she's got a presentation because then it can kind of project largely, and the title of her experiment is the effect of different environments on vertebrate decomposition. And the first slide is all about the experiment. So she's going to say, hello, my name is Summer Kyoko. I am presenting on my experiment on the way that the vertebrae of mice decompose in various environments, and how that can be used to more accurately determine time of death. So there were 150 specimens divided into 3 groups of 50 mice. 50 were placed in a control group in a controlled environment with a standard temperature. 50 were placed in salt water, and 50 were placed in fresh water. And this differs from previous experiments as it, oh no, is that initiative?
No, don't worry about it.
Oh no. There's experiments on the subject as I wanted to test in decomposition of water specifically, rather than different kinds of soils. So there's a little chart on the screen with all the different sort of the experimental design diagram that you'll learn very simply. And then the next one has various charts. And and the first one is of the control group. And Summer will say, the control group went as expected. The decomposition was fairly standard for specimens in this sort of environment, and there are a bunch of previous research things that she's cited that are also they're in standard APA format on that one slide. So that was helpful in determining that the results of this experiment were valid. And she goes to the next one, which is the salt water. And she will say, so as you can see, there are certain parts of decomposition, such as flesh, and the various microorganisms measured in terms of blood. And they're all as expected for saltwater. However, the specifics that I wanted to test were the vertebrae decomposition, specifically the spinal fluids. And if you look at the spinal fluids, they are actually fairly similar to the way that the spinal fluid was able to decay in the control group. And the next one has a nice little comparison between the two. She's got a sort of a line diagram, and it's kind of placed right on top. And she'll go to the next one, which has the fresh water.
There, you can feel that pit in your stomach kind of growing, and there's that very uncomfortable knot that extra science brings to your magical little world.
She'll go to the next one, which is freshwater, and she will say, in terms of freshwater, was very much as expected. There were a couple of outliers, and that's also on the graph that she'll kind of demonstrate, and she'll actually go to the little trifold and kind of show how the different environments that the mice were placed in. And so accounting for the outliers and readjusting the statistics, you can see that the based on previous studies of decomposition in freshwater, and she's same layout with the previous studies of decomposition in freshwater within the APA format below it. It was as expected. And in terms of the vertebrae fluid, and she has, and the next slide has sort of all three stacked on top, and they are all fairly similar. They're not like exactly overlapping, but they are fairly similar. So I believe that through this experiment, I have found a possible avenue for a more accurate measure of decomposition in specimens that are found specifically in water, as normally when specimens decompose in water, it is slightly more difficult to tell the time of death, as water does have a different effect, and science babble, a different effect on a decomposition in terms of flesh, in terms of bloatedness, and in terms of rigor mortis. And then the next slide has sort of possibilities for further investigation. And she'll say, in terms of furthering my study, I would like to do repeated trials, possibly in different laboratories with possibly a different breed of rat, to see if this study was consistent throughout, and if the experiment can be repeated and the results are similar, then I would like to test this perhaps on certain specimens that have already been found in water, that have already been determined time of death, examine their vertebrae fluid, and see if my findings are the same. And then she has, of course, a works cited page that is like a mile long.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your charisma academics.
Oh, would you look at that? That's good. Okay, let me see. Charisma, academics.
Your difficulty for this is going to be 7.
Right. I'm gonna spend some willpower.
All right, so 1 willpower.
1, 2, so 3.
And you can tell as you were giving your speech, the all of the professors were writing down notes. They seem to be whispering amongst themselves.
We're going to go ahead and hope that the chief medical examiner isn't in this room right now. But yeah, and Summer will
He's not in the room.
go ahead. Ah, good.
They whisper for a bit, and it just kind of goes on and on. Seems like it's going on for a really long time. And then they will ask you to go to one slide, and then they'll ask you to go to a different slide, and they'll make some notes, talk amongst themselves. Roll me your willpower.
Is this worth spending? I've only spent one so far. Should I spend another one? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend another one. Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, you're good. You were calm, cool, and collected. You managed to.
I am so, and I even talk about, like, I even elaborate a little bit on the different slides that they asked me to go to with a little bit of extra information.
This goes on for about a half an hour of them asking about slides and asking questions about this and about that. Roll me your charisma academics again. Same
Key.
difficulty.
Oh no, not good. Wait, was that the right number? Wait, I was rolling for science, excuse me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's the right amount of dice. So that's a total of 4.
Okay. Well, they will talk just amongst themselves for a little bit longer. And they say thank you. And they will kind of send you on your way, and you will get your review during the first quarter of the new year.
All right, she takes her little trifold, runs off stage, and goes immediately to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And just is gonna kind of go into a stall and just kind of poise herself over the toilet because she knows how she gets when she gets nervous. She's just gonna kind of freak out in there for a little bit. Her roommate probably, or someone in the audience who her other roommate probably followed her.
Yeah. And that.
Shall I roll willpower to see how badly I am throwing up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not gonna spend anything because if I fail, this is funny. Oh, okay. I get 2 successes, so it's not horrible.
You definitely throw up a little bit.
But all right, and she kind of flushes the toilet, goes out, cleans off her face. She doesn't need to worry about her makeup anymore, so she just kind of washes her face with cold water, kind of pats it with a paper towel, turns over to and this is Jen, and she's like, I am ready to die. And Jen's probably like, yeah, so am I. Let's go get wasted.
Pretty much. And that is where we are going to end our scene.
I'm assuming that's the amount of banality that I'm gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes, son.
Because science.
Yeah.
Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing.